Hello Gemini, welcome to your September monthly reading for 2019. We're going to get some general energies here for this monthly out of this Wisdom, the Oracle deck. I love the illustrations on these cards. So if you have one of these, you know what I'm talking about. They are so gorgeous. All right, we've got time for a nap, Gemini. So this is telling you to take it easy in September. Definitely wanting to take a moment for yourself. Take time to maybe meditate, yoga, walking out in the woods, taking in nature. But all in all, really relaxing, getting in touch with your dreams, because Spirit says it is time for a nap. So over September, a lot of us are going to be still using that Virgo energy and balancing and getting everything in line with our day-to-day schedules. And your advice is to just kind of chill out. So I don't know what that means for you there, Geminis out there. But we also had that energy that I pulled before all of these reading as a collective reading. And we got need and necessity. So this card right here is really kind of asking you what is necessary and what is needed. Both those words really mean similar things until you verse them against each other, whereas need then becomes a craving of possession, and necessity becomes something that's craved for survival and, living. So need and necessity is pretty important when we're talking about like yin and yang, and making sure that receptivity and taking action is in balance, especially with the Libra energy coming up towards the end of the month. We're really going to be tested on our ability to remain balanced and how well we've been balancing. Virgo comes through to kind of give us the warning to get all our stuff balanced, because when Libra comes in, where there's imbalance, we may feel a little tested. So keep that in mind as you go through September, especially the beginning part of it before Libra starts, to make sure that you're really kind of organized in your life, Gemini. It's super important. And take time for a nap. Rejuvenating yourself can always help you start fresh and get your mind ready for whatever tasks you need to figure out for the day-to-day. Oh yeah, definitely. Look at that. 9 of Swords coming out. King of Swords. Knight of Pentacles. And 3 of Pentacles. That's very funny. This and this came out in the very last reading. The King of Swords and the 3 of Pentacles. And I just shuffled the heck out of those cards. Before I even came on camera, I shuffled them. So meant to be here. This is kind of the energy that we're getting a lot of for these readings. So we'll see how that plays out. We have 9 of Swords coming up for you, Gemini, and that really goes into this time for a nap energy. As you can see, this person is in bed, kind of covered up, looking a little bit emotionally unstable, because all these swords are thoughts, and they don't always serve us. When we're at the 9 of Swords, we have really been hurt, or we have put ourselves in a situation of self-sabotaging, because the 10 of Swords is going to be overkill. It's to the point of an ending of some kind of idea, communication, thought, or something big in our life. So it could be a relationship. It could be a job. Whatever it is, it no longer serves us. It is causing so much pain and turmoil in our life that it's just not working anymore. When we look at what a 9 is, it's wisdom and experience. You have gained so much wisdom and experience from the first sword all the way to the 9th sword that you are ready to make a decision about what you've learned and really move forward and move on. Getting these negative thoughts out of your way and healing from them and forgiving yourself is really important as you move forward, because your new moon reading was releasing the devil. So maybe you need a rejuvenation. Maybe the release has happened and you're to the point of maybe a little bit of sorrow and those painful feelings. And the 9 is always signifying that it's done. You know, the 10 is the complete ending. The 9 is that moment between it's done and it's done. Okay. So Gemini, whatever it is that you're going through, just know that taking a nap and really rejuvenating yourself is going to be one of the best ways that you can heal yourself and forgive yourself and get through this really heavy energy that you might be experiencing through September. And this is not all doom and horribleness. I don't even know if that's a word, horribleness, but this is not saying that you're having a bad month. It's saying that you may have gone through something that's really rough and it's done now. So that's a really good part of this card, is that it's done. Not to come back, not to bother you. It's done. This King of Swords shows that you have a new truth. You have a new truth as you move forward because you know how to master your minds and thoughts once you can control them. You know that a king can rule an entire kingdom with just his communication and thoughts, like this fella here does. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be a man for this reading. This is saying that you understand how to take action in the masculine way. And that's essential for when we're trying to heal and get through something. With a lot of swords going on here, Gemini, it looks like your thoughts have been really ruling you. And the idea of this card is to show you how to not just let your thoughts rule you, but see how you can find that balance in leading you towards what you want and recognizing what our mind is thinking. Okay, what are the stories that you're being told? What are the stories that you're communicating? What is the receptivity that's happening? Where's the action? Okay, so this is kind of a really general feeling right here, because we could all be going through this different levels of hurt. This could be everything from a divorce to a broken vehicle, right? You're like really upset about the bills and blah, 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 blah. What this 9 of Swords comes through is, after you get through that mental anguish, you're going to come up with a solution like a king would, and using your mind and your ideas to get through and persevere. Okay, because that is that mental attitude of the King of Swords. Now let's move into this Knight of Pentacles. This Knight of Pentacles is slow moving, but at least he's moving, okay? Whereas the Page is sitting there just jotting down the notes, the plan, the blueprint, the process. The Knight is at least on his way, okay, guys? Now, for you, Gemini, that means that something has started and it's on its way. But there is that level of patience that comes with this Knight of Pentacles. And it's important. What the Knight is carrying is important, and it does bring stability. However, it may take some time. So really getting in through this mental energy, this is going to be working in the background. This Pentacle energy is going to be working in the background while you get through some of this healing and really empowering yourself back into your position as a king of your own life. Now, the nap that's suggested here, the time for a nap, that is really relevant to this Knight of Pentacles, because a lot of people would say that the Knight of Pentacles is kind of sleeping. He's going so slow, he's sleeping. So that may be you right now. You maybe need to slow down. Sometimes the universe slows us down for a reason, because if we rush too fast, we may not have everything we need by the time we get to where we're going, and we've missed tools or we've missed signs, and we're not living in that present moment. The Pentacles energy is always in that present moment with that earth energy, okay? Pentacles is earth energy. So remember that you're going to need to go slow through September. For whatever it is that you're working on and you're creating, Gemini, you need to take it easy and really take each step with intent and with meaning, because what you're working on is great. This Three of Pentacles, this is, you know what you make. You're making something, and it's important, and it's bringing stability. And this guy's polishing up what he's making and really refining it. With the Ace, you've planted a thought, a seed that's going to bring stability. With the Two, you have made decisions and balanced. With the Three, you're really honing that work now. You're really making it into something that you can show that is going to bring stability, which would be that Four of Pentacles, where you get to take stock of how far you've come and how much you've worked. So right now you're in that working phase. You're in that new idea that something's going to bring you stability. Something's going to bring you stability from the actions that you take with this mental attitude. You're going to get into that position of feeling that need and necessity just like all the rest of us. And it really feels like you're needing to slow down and take stock of what you have and where you're headed, and not let any of this past mental anguish slow down the fact that you are the king of your ideas and thoughts and the master of where you're headed. So really important, Gemini, to remember. Let's get some clarifying cards here for these four in front of us. I'm really liking the energy of your reading, because it feels like going through this is going to create some kind of massive change in your world. We take a nap and we're usually waking up feeling totally refreshed and in a new light with a new mental attitude, that new physical, what is the recharge? That's what I was trying to say. The physical recharge that we feel from getting a good sleep, good nap. So, it seems like September is letting you take that time for yourself. Look at that. 3 cards wanted to fall out. Oh, and maybe they wanted to fall out this direction. I don't know. Look at that. That would be kind of synchronistic, wouldn't it? Okay. Because that's the way that fell out, kind of. Let's get one more. If I would have let it fall out the way it wanted to, it would have fell out that way. Oh, I love synchronicities when it comes to cards and dice now. Oh, yeah. See, we've got that 4. Okay, definitely needing to take some time. Now, this could have fell here or here. It doesn't matter. We could leave it the way I left it, because it all rings through to the same exact feeling. So these two are the exact same card right here. Okay, that's that feeling trapped by your own thoughts and mental anguish. Now, this is really working on something, and that's why I felt it fell this way, because this is that Pentacle energy. Okay, you know what you're working on, because it's been something that's, it's going to take a while. With this 8, you know that in order to bring about something that's incredibly awesome, it's going to take a little bit of time and some effort. So let's just start back over here. This 9 of Swords definitely validates the 9 of Swords that you already have. Making sure to not let the mental anguish tie you up and stop you. See how his hands are tied? And he's got all those swords? That's done. This mental anxiety and worry and everything that's been happening, it's done. Okay? No more. Need to let that go. Take a nap and come back rejuvenated, because with this 9 of Pentacles, there is potential to move forward from this 8 of Pentacles under here. Okay? That 8 of Pentacles, we can move into this. You don't want to get yourself into a gilded cage either, though, and that's the lower vibration of this card, is not wanting to move forward. So recognizing how this 9 of Pentacles and this King of Swords works together is really important. You have a lot of 9s coming out. Now, 9s are that wisdom, okay? King of Swords has a lot of wisdom. He has a lot of experience. He knows how to use his mind to get what he wants, okay? He knows how to create stability, and he knows how to create abundance, okay? And with this 9 coming out, is saying that you have to recognize that you're right on the verge of something big. And it may take a little bit of time to get rolling, but you have to start. You have to start, because You can get places with this. To get to this point, you have to have that wisdom and that experience. Same as being a king. You have to have that wisdom and experience. And that's what that 9 energy brings us. You know, it's those beginnings and endings where they're felt, but it's the victory. Because this is right before that 10 of Pentacles, which is legacy and fortune. Okay, something that brings huge stability. And right now, it's going to be the way that you handle your thoughts and your communication throughout this month, Gemini. Now with this, again, we have this Knight of Pentacles, really slow moving energy, but it's for this overall bigger cause. You know, it's this one pentacle will quickly turn to 8 if it is taken with care and dignity and integrity and really honing in that skill. That's really important. When you lay these guys next to each other, look at how well they're working on what they're passionate about. They know it's going to bring them stability, or they wouldn't be working so hard on it. They are really passionate about it, so it's going to bring stability no matter what. When you're doing what you love, it's going to bring something so amazing. You know, the money comes with it, not before. It's not get the money, then you get passion. No, passion comes, then you get the money. Then you get the stability. When you're really going after what you love. And here's that almost like your 4th validation that you really need to take it easy, Gemini, during September. This 4 of Swords is definitely checking in with yourself on ways that you can engage in self-care and the ways that you can release some of the mental energy that's keeping you worried or too anxious or too busy. Okay, when we have those 4s, again, that's you realizing. That's realizing that you need to take time for a nap. See, this guy's sleeping. He's not letting the mental anguish keep him awake. Some people are like, oh, is he, getting stabbed? No. No, he's taking a break and not letting all this get in here. He's actually taking a break. So that's that self-care that you really need to do, especially with what's been going on over here. And that's going to be different for every single Gemini. You know, that this ending, this tragedy over here, that is going to be different for everybody. And it's going to come and play out differently for everybody. So let's get some tarot dice to finish up this reading and wrap it up. I'm going to just randomly grab 4 out of here. I think that's 4. It feels like 4. Yep. Okay. All right. We have 6 of Cups coming out right here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of coin coming up there. We have 3 of Cups. And we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, really interesting energy right here, actually. Okay, the 6 of Cups is sometimes a nostalgia feeling because you're going and looking at the many ways in your life that you have had joy before. Now, that might be causing some of this more painful energy right here because you know you've felt happiness before, Gemini, and you know what it feels like, and you know what's filled your cup before. This is that choosing to feel, choosing to recognize how you feel. And that may help you as you get through this heavy energy, is really recognizing how do you feel, Gemini? Can you be honest with yourself about how you feel? With this 10 here, there is a whole lot of feeling happening from these. Or these 9, I'm sorry, these 9 of Swords. There's a whole lot of feeling coming from it, and it doesn't seem like a good feeling, okay, because there's a lot of it. The good news is it's on its way out the door. But how do you feel? You know, what are you choosing to feel about this? Because that's really going to set the stage for how you move forward, okay? Now, We've got this very, very awesome 7 of coins here. And 7 of coins is always going to ask you what's worth it. What's worth it to you? What's worth it that you're working on is the waiting and being patient and knowing that this guy's going to take some time. Is it worth it? So that's going to be a big question for you, and maybe that's why you need to take that time to take a nap and do some inner seeking, create some inner dialogue, and really tune in to how you feel about it. How do you feel about the fact that whatever you're really engaging in might take some time? How do you feel about this massive ending and somewhat of a traumatic crisis? How do you feel? Okay, so this is going to ask you, is it still worth it? Now that you know how you feel, is it worth it? Is it going to bring stability? Is it going to bring what you want? What's going on with it? Has it worked up to this point? Okay, so it's kind of a check-in with yourself. And I really like that energy being with the King and the 9 of Pentacles, because again, it's recognizing your truth. It's recognizing your wisdom and checking to see if it matches up with where you're headed. Is it still worth it for you? Are you still feeling confident enough to move forward with what you know and what you've learned? This cannot slow you down, right? Because you know too much. You can't experience this again because you've learned so much. There's just no way to experience that again. And you're recognizing that with the way you feel. And the way you're feeling is definitely moving into a new situation, a new passion, because we have this 3 of Cups here, and that's really celebrating. That's celebrating a change. That's celebrating the fact that you've made something and that you're making something and it feels really good. And with it being above this, it's got to be something that brings that stability. You know, you've decided that it's worth it, and you're going to celebrate the fact that you are determined and motivated, and you're going to persevere despite the time that it may take, because you see the vision of how big it can be, and you're going to celebrate that. And I love that for you, Gemini, because you know, once you've been able to take that time for yourself and take a nap, you're really going to be able to take stock of where you're headed with your feelings. Your feelings are going to guide you through this. Really, really guide you through this. Okay, now we've got this one and only Wands. This is passion. This is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is going to come through with action because he is on fire with desire. Not the kind of desire and passion that a Knight of Cups would have where he's offering love. No, this is an offer and action towards something that's passionate and exciting. You know, it doesn't have to be necessarily love. It can be an excitement due to this new refurbished way of doing what you've been doing. You know, this new idea of the stabilization that's happening. This can be that excitement and drive that's coming from the fact that you've been doing some self-care and you're really feeling fired up. After this nap, you're going to be waking up feeling like a whole new knight with a whole new rod. So this is really, really good reading for you, Gemini. I hope it resonates for you. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Just take what does and leave what doesn't. And if you could subscribe, that would be so helpful. I'd love to get my word out there. I'm brand new to YouTube, just starting to do these videos, and I would love to spread the word and get everybody on here and collaborating and sharing and kind of learning more about these energies. It's really fun for me. So, and also hit that little bell button because that will ensure that you get the updated messages as I post them. Thanks again, and hope you have a good beginning of your September. See you for the full moon in Pisces.